If you're looking for an inexpensive microphone for content creation, podcasting, maybe game streaming, you don't have to break the bank. In this video, we're going to be checking out the MAONO PD100X, which is a USB and XLR dynamic microphone. We're going to go through all the features, we're going to hook it up to a couple different devices and test it out. In fact, you're listening to it right now. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and check this thing out. Hey everybody, it's Chris from FamilyGeekery, and today we're going to be checking out the MAONO PD100X USB/XLR dynamic microphone. Now, if you've been shopping around for an inexpensive microphone for any type of podcasting, YouTubing, game streaming, then you've probably heard of this brand MAONO. They make a lot of inexpensive but feature-rich products, and this one is no different. Now, full disclosure, MAONO did reach out to me and ask if I would review this product, so they did send this one to me to review, but all of the opinions are my own. They have no input into the video, and they don't even get to see it until it's published. So with that being said, let's check out some of the features. So we got some icons up here on the top. Let's go ahead and look to see what they say. It says it comes with a portable stand. We'll look at that. It's USB-C and XLR connectivity, so you can hook it straight up to a computer, or you can hook it up through an audio interface or a mixer. It's got a 2-in-1 digital knob. That means you can control either the gain of the microphone or the headphone volume from the same knob. It's got programmable RGB. There's a button right on it that you can switch through the RGB settings. And it's got a touch mute button. Let's take a look at the back here, see what else it says. So the main features it's listing here: dynamic capsule. So this is a dynamic microphone, unlike a condenser microphone. We talked about the mic gain and the headphone control knob. It comes with its own windscreen cover. It's powered by Maonolink, so that's some software that lets you adjust both the audio settings and some of the other settings like the RGB. It's got a cardioid polar pattern, and we'll test that out. That rejects some of the noises that may be in your room besides what you want to actually, capture, your voice. It's got a touch mute button, programmable RGB, and it's compatible with PC, smartphone, and game console. So if you watched the intro, you heard me talk through it just for a couple seconds, and that was hooked directly to this recording device here, which is a iPad Pro, so it's plugged directly in. I do have a USB docking station for this iPad, so the USB cable from the microphone was plugged into that, but directly into the software here, it was showing up as a USB microphone. So we're going to test this out by hooking it up to a computer and testing out that software also. And we're going to be testing it out all with just the USB-C cable, which is probably what the majority of people buying a microphone like this are using. It's just the easiest way to hook it up. Just one cable from the microphone to your computer, set it up in Windows or Mac, whichever software you're using, and it's ready to go. If you'd like to see how it gets set up through a XLR audio interface, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll be happy to make another video showing that part of it. But let's start off by taking a look at what's inside the box. So inside the box, it comes with the microphone, of course. This is the included stand. It has this thing right here. I'll take this off in just a second and show you how this connects to both the stand and it connects to a boom arm. It comes with a little adapter here, a threaded adapter, so that you can connect it to different size inserts on your boom stands or other microphone stands. And it comes with a USB-C to USB-C cable with an attachable USB-A. So this side's going to go into your microphone, and then depending on what kind of connection you're going into on your computer, you've got the choice of both USB-C and USB-A. That is nice that they're including that adapter, because that saves a couple bucks in case you've got a different type of connection on your computer, or if you're going to be moving this from computer to computer. So it comes with basically everything you need to get it up and running. It does not come with an XLR cable. I don't expect at this price point to include an XLR cable, but if you are going to be hooking it up to a mixer, then of course you're going to need one of those. Let's take a look at some of the features and buttons that are on the microphone itself. So we talked about the touch mute button, and this is like just a capacitive button that as soon as you touch it, it's going to mute. And that's going to mute everything that's coming into the microphone from going out to your device. We've got this two-way control knob here, which has a push-in function to go between the headphones and the gain. So it's got a little picture there of a headphone and microphone. So you can adjust the gain right from here, and then if you want to click it over, you can adjust the audio level of your headphones. we've got a little light indicator right here, and it has different colors depending on what function you're on. So when you look at it, you can tell, hey, am I going to be controlling the microphone or am I controlling just the headphones? So that's nice. We've got a ring right here. This is the RGB ring, and you can see in the picture it's got a rainbow color by default, but as you push this button on the back here that has a little picture of the light, that's going to cycle through, I don't know, about 7 or 8 different colors. So you get some solid colors, and then you get the rainbow, and yes, you can turn it off, and when you turn it off, it looks just like this. Also on the back are your USB-C connector going to your computer, your XLR connector here, which would go to a audio interface or mixer, and then you've got your headphone input. So if you're going to be talking into it and you want to hear a direct monitor of what it is that you are recording, then you can hear it right there from your headphones. I'm assuming if you have this plugged into a computer, then the audio interface portion of it will act as an audio output also, so you'll be able to control the mix that's coming into your headphones from the computer. So if you're playing a game or something on the computer, or if you have chat announcements, you'll be able to hear them mixed in here. Now I said I was going to show you the stand here. Let's go ahead and remove the little base plate that comes with it. And so this is a decent quality base plate. It's got some weight to it. It's got kind of a felt bottom to it, so that's pretty nice, and it just screws right into here. But if you look inside here, you've got a larger thread inside here. It's kind of hard to see. And then you've got a smaller thread that's a little bit deeper inside there. So you're actually using the smaller thread with this stand. This will go right into like a standard boom arm, but depending on what you have at the end of your boom arm or microphone stand, you may need to use this little adapter that comes with it. Now, although it is nice that it comes with this little stand here, I would say if you're going to be using this for podcasting or anything where you care about the audio quality, I would say you might want to get a boom arm or a shock mount of some sort, because the casing on this thing, I believe it's plastic. So this is all plastic, and once we plug it in and I start tapping on it, you'll see that any kind of touching of any part of this is going to be very apparent in your recording. So now that we've taken a little tour of the microphone and all of its features that are built in, let's go ahead and hook this up to a computer and check out that software and do a little bit more talking through it. Alright, so now I've got the microphone plugged right into a computer which I'm capturing from. So you are hearing me talking through the microphone, and you're seeing me here controlling this Maonolink software. And this is a software that you download right from their site. They've got downloads both for Windows and for Mac. And it's going to allow you to control some stuff from the software instead of having to control it from the microphone. And it gives you a couple more additional items that you can do, kind of the advanced features. So let's take a look right here on the standard side, which is just the standard settings. And you can see right here we're monitoring the mic, and we can use this right here to adjust the gain. Now I can adjust the gain with the slider right here, down, 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 up, 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 up. And we can see, you know, we don't want to get up into the red here, so I'm going to bring this down probably to about 30, 33. That looks pretty good. I'm staying right here in the yellow, and I am talking straight into this thing. Like, lips are, I don't know, 2 inches away from the foam, and I've got it on a stand on a boom arm. And I want to show you real quick that I still can control it from the knob on the microphone itself. So I'm going to go up here and grab the knob and twist it back and forth, and you can see I'm adjusting the gain down, 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 back up, up, up. But you can also probably hear that any time I touch this thing, you can hear that in the recording, of course. So if I use the knob to control the headphone volume, same thing. I have to click it over, and you probably heard that. And now I can control the headphone volume. So it's nice that you can control it from the microphone without having to run the software, especially if you're in the middle of a game and you want to mute something, or if you want to, you know, turn something up or down. But at the same time, just understand you're going to be hearing that in the recording. And that's just because it's, you know, kind of plasticky, and there's probably not a lot of noise suppression inside this microphone. So we've got our gain and our headphone volume set here. We can turn the mic monitoring off. So right now you're probably still hearing me, but I hear nothing in my headphones now. So just depending on what you want to hear, you can turn that on or off. So I'll keep that on so I can hear what I'm adjusting. We've got some kind of generic tone changes here. So it's defaulted to deep. I can change that to original. So this is original. You can hear that it lost a little bit of the bass in there, but my voice is probably not a good example of that because it's pretty low to begin with. And then here is natural. So natural gives it a little bit tinnier sound, a little bit, I think, flatter sound. And I'm not sure why legacy is kind of grayed out over here, but we can definitely select it. And that actually sounds pretty good. So let's listen to the legacy up against the deep again. And I would say that the deep kind of, I guess, cuts out some of the background noises. I hear in my headphones a little bit more, I would say more like a condenser microphone in this setting here versus the deep setting. So we'll keep it on that. And then last thing here on the standard side is just controls for the RGB. You can turn them on and off. And of course you can't see that right now because you're looking at a screen. And then we can adjust the volume or the brightness, and then we can adjust the color selection also. Now if we switch this over to advanced, we still have gain, and that tracks the same on both sides. So if you see me change this here, you can see on the standard side it's adjusting too. And then same thing with the monitor or the headphone volume. But now we've got some generic EQ settings, and then we've got a custom EQ setting. So right now it's just defaulted to flat. I can put a low cut high pass filter. I can put in a presence boost, or I can combine the presence boost and the high pass filter. And I'm not hearing a lot of difference between all of these. I guess there is a little bit between the high pass filter and the EQ, or the flat EQ. But if we click on custom, then you can see it gives us a little bit more control here with just 3 faders at 100 Hertz, 1 kilohertz, and 10 kilohertz. And then if we go to advanced, we can even have a little bit more control. So I'm not going to mess with the custom EQ. I'm going to go ahead and confirm that and go back just to flat. But again, on the advanced, we do have some additional settings here for the limiter, compressor, and kind of like a noise reduction. So you can turn on the limiter, the compressor, and the noise reduction all individually and kind of play around with those and make those sound exactly how you like. So it's nice to have some control over your audio. You definitely get more control in the software than you do just from the microphone itself, but I would still consider this not quite as advanced, or on the flip side, not quite as confusing as some of the other devices that have a whole lot more settings. This one kind of gives you just what you need to get it sounding pretty darn good. So keep in mind, between the beginning of this video and what you're listening to now, it may sound different, both in the sense that it's going through this software here on the computer and it wasn't doing that on the iPad, and also just the volume level itself is going to be a little bit different just between the two recordings. So I'm going to go ahead and unplug this from the computer and go back to the iPad so we can finish out this video. Alright, so now that we've seen the features and we've tested it out in Windows and you saw the software, let's go ahead and summarize this all up. And the best thing I can say is, bang for the buck, this thing is pretty amazing. It's got decent features, it sounds good. When I had it hooked up to the computer and I was monitoring through the headphones, it sounded pretty darn good. Of course, there is the problems when you're tapping on it. Now, I'm not talking through it right now. I'm talking through my normal microphone that I have hooked up to my iPad. And when I'm podcasting, I'm normally podcasting with this mic here, which is a Rode Pod mic. And this thing is like about 10 times as heavy as this Maono is. It's all metal, and it is a beefy boy. It is very heavy. This is pretty lightweight. The stand is all plastic. The casing is all plastic. That doesn't make it sound worse, but it does pick up a lot more sounds when you're tapping on it. Now, you heard every time that I rubbed my fingers over this or clicked the button when I was recording on the computer. And as a comparison, I've got my normal condenser microphone hooked up here is a Behringer Bigfoot. I've done a review on that on the channel also. And right now, I'm putting my fingers all over the microphone, and you probably don't hear it. Now, if I tap on it pretty hard, you're probably hearing that. But just moving the volume knob, you're probably not hearing any of that. So just know that the build quality is obviously not as nice as something like this Rode Pod mic. But again, bang for the buck. If you're just looking for something that is inexpensive but has decent features and decent sound, then this one will obviously do that. Now I left it plugged into the computer so you could see the RGB lights here, because I didn't demonstrate that before. And then you can see how I can click through all the different colors. And this is the same thing you could have controlled in the software. The only thing you can't change from the button here is the brightness level. So we can change everything, including turning it off, going back to rainbow, but you can't change the actual brightness. You'll have to do that in the software. And then while I have this plugged in, I wanted to show you also the little status bar here, which changes between blue and white, depending on if you're adjusting the volume of the headphones or the gain of the microphone. And then the mute button here turns it red. So assuming that this thing is hanging from, a stand or right here in front of you, you may be able to see that bar, but if you have to reach over and actually look at it to see what you're adjusting, sometimes you'll probably have to do that anyways. Now, last thing I wanted to mention is this is the PD100X. They have other models available, including a new version of this one, which is I think it's called the PD100X RGB. And on that one, you have more than just this ring is RGB. I think the whole plastic area here is kind of RGB and it glows. So if you want a lot of bling in your setup, then I would check that one out. I will have links to all this stuff down in the description below. So go ahead and check it out. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. I think if Soundwave was able to move his thumbs, he'd give this microphone 2 thumbs up. But since he's not moving much, you're just going to have to take his word for it. Let me know if you have any questions. Just drop them down in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer anything I can. I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, I appreciate a thumbs up. That helps out the channel. Go ahead and check out the rest of the channel. I've got other videos there of microphone reviews and other gaming and streaming type devices and some other Maono products. In fact, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because coming up soon on the channel, I'm going to have this guy right here plugged into a little streaming mixer made by Maono also, so you don't want to miss that. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. I appreciate you as always for watching, and until next time, peace out and geek out.